Tonight we're going to be continuing where we left off with Crusader Kings II. Our current playthrough is the mighty nation of Lithuania. We've almost got an empire formed. We just need one province and a bunch of gold. So it's loaded up. We pretty much just need to take this one last province from Livonia and we'll be good on the province requirement. So we just need the gold and all everything to form both the Kingdom of Poland and the Windish Empire, because you need to have two kingdom titles before you can form an empire. So let's say we were okay. I don't believe we have a truce with the Windish Empire, which I believe, not the Windish Empire, but nation of Livonia, so we can probably just disband our troops and then start a war with them. And see how that goes. All of our troops are disbanded. Livonia is up to something. Oh, they're attacking King Berto, all the unready and Highlander Holy War for Hillsayland. And that's why. Now they've got troops moving through my territory already. Right, doesn't seem to. Their alliance to the Peking of Jutland could be an issue, but I doubt it. So let's just. Because I mean, as long as a fair number of our vassal allies join in, we're gonna stomp both of them most likely. And here we go, here comes the flood of vassal ally troops. Ready to just stomp this rogue nation out of existence. Because they used to be part of our country. They just managed to, I think, capture one of the previous kings of Lithuania. And as a result, they managed to get 100% war score right before I got 100% war score to shut them down, and so they were able to actually become independent before I could stop their entire war. Okay, what's wrong with this line of succession? Like I don't see how. Because, like, the heiress of that title is still under my a realm. She's got a matrilineal betrothal to this kid, so I'm not entirely sure what the concern is there. Alright, we've got a victory in their one little patch of land they've still got. And it looks like their ally didn't come to help. Pomeranian Revolt. Where's this Pomeranian Revolt? Oh, because I think that's in my territory. Oh, it's right over here. You better not become independent and end of the realm or something. Because I do not have time for that. Right, force demands. Fortunately, it didn't get us any gold, so let's see. The defense is too big, but I don't believe it can really do much about that. Because the council doesn't know what to let me. However, I can ask for help managing my titles. Well, maybe that will at least get me. These allow me to get rid of these 3 extra titles I don't. Because, I mean, these are already their own vassals. I think maybe. Oh, I think maybe what that did was it just made this automatically its own vassal. Let's see. In order to form, you need to hold at least 2 kingdom titles for our own empire. I control 80% of the de jure territory of the empire, but by itself it costs 300 gold. So I can easily get one more piece of land that could get the Kingdom of Great Moravia, but it's 200 for any kingdom title, so I might as well just go with whatever. So let's see. So I can go with either Kingdom of Poland, which I control all the de jure land for, or the Kingdom of Pomerania, which I believe, regardless, I'm gonna have de jure claims on the entire Windish Empire, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'll probably go for Pomerania. So let's see, I need Need another 400 gold, effectively. So let's just raise the troops and go on some raids. Need to make some more money. Oh, also we need a new chancellor. This guy's a powerful vassal, and he's the best person for the role. All of the available lists, so let's go with him. Let's see, are there any options that can get me more money? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just... Well, I could have the marshal organize raids. So let's do that. Because that'll get me more troops specifically for the purpose of raiding. Like, there are troops that specifically get angry at you if you don't use them for raiding. And I think soon enough after they're spawned in. We actually even gain anything from trade? Yeah, I'm not sure how to check that exactly. Let's go with trade practices. Or economic advance. Let's pick up melee techniques and popular customs and noble customs, since we've got all the points for it. But having more raiders available to us will make this go a bit faster, because this will have more people we can send out to raid. Now I can also pick a patron deity. Go for Rosamina to get a couple more points of stewardship. Let's see. I don't believe any of these will give me money, and I can't ransom either of my two prisoners, so raiding it is. Let's send someone over. Let's send almost 2,000 troops over to this territory over here. Ooh, tax modifier plus 20% for Vilnius. Yes, that should help. We're currently gaining 5.23, but minus a 0.31 expenses, so 4.92, so about 5 gold a month. Decent raid, I'd say. Let's get out of this territory because they're already fighting back. Although we're winning. We're slightly outnumbered, but we started out slightly outnumbered, but we're winning. So maybe we don't have to run away. Yeah, no. No, I don't think it's gonna be worth it to spend that gold right now. So hey, maybe we can maybe you can keep raiding over here. Or instead. Able to loot. Drones can potentially be looted, but I think. Okay, we're sieging them currently, so we gotta get that done first, I believe. At least I think we're sieging. Yeah. As long as these guys don't disrupt us, we should be able to raid a fair bit from this province. Which... I mean, they had us outnumbered from the beginning and then lost anyway, so... Well, they're clearly gonna need something more substantial than outnumbering us by a few hundred. They had to get us out of their territory. We've almost got this siege down. And so we should... Enemy, we're just generally gaining money at a decent rate anyway, so... And they decide to attack again. And they're losing again. So hey, maybe we'll be able to capture a commander or something to ransom. I mean, rate of about 5. The rate of actually it's down to 4.16 now, but even that, then at that rate, we can get pretty far with just it. That's our current income. I mean, we've almost got the money to form a kingdom title. Now, super not the time, Orthodox rebels. Hey, maybe they'll give us some money that we can use to fund the efforts of forming an empire. After we call our many vassal allies in and beat them into the ground. Because, you know, since we're now just paying for our troops normally rather than sending them out on raids currently, they're costing a bit more. You get a hefty discount when raiding. We squashed the revolt like a bug. But unfortunately, I don't believe they gave us any money, so either way, we don't have enough money to form an empire yet. Got a little above what we need to form a kingdom, and we need enough for both a kingdom and an empire, since you need a kingdom title before you can, because you need 2 kingdom titles to be able to form an empire. Alright, beat their command. I beat these guys as commander. Unfortunately, the battle left our troops unable to raid because they don't have enough forces to actually break through the. Ooh, some guy just stepped into a duel for me, and I've given some dude a good tumble, and some dude stepped in to fight on my behalf, and I did poorly. We've almost got. We almost got 300. Yeah, sure, you can be the designated agent. Can I maybe see? Nope, unfortunately, I can't turn a favor into money, even from the looks of it. Because this chief owes me a favor, but I don't really have an immediate use for any of the options there. Okay, actually, let's. Alright, in order to raise taxes, we also have to lower levies. I think that only affects if they're regular vassals anyway. I believe that's just the levies provided when you raise it. You use vassal levies, not when you call vassal allies to war. We've got 371. Because we just got a decent chunk of change from a raid. So we're getting close. We've got. Still have. We only need just over 100 more gold, and we'll be able to form the empire by just forming the Kingdom of Poland and then immediately forming the empire. Unless, of course, there's some kind of cooldown, but like forming the empire as soon as possible. To make sure that no matter who holds the kingdom titles, they still remain on top. I discovered Noemir lurking in my chambers. I barely managed to restrain myself from screaming and accidentally called the words than him. My lover told me that he wished to comfort me in this stressful period of my life. So apparently the father of my child has arrived to comfort me. My liege, these armed thugs attacked me while investigating the rumor of a plot in Vilnius. I barely escaped with my life and I'm now severely wounded. That's not great, especially when you consider that that's my capital. Right. Just need about 50,000 more. And I'm about to have a bastard child. Not 50,000, 50 more. As we are once again stomping the local regiments. Less than 50 more. More gold to form the empire. And Gediminus has been born. He seems to be accepted as legitimate. Nobody seems to be. Nobody's questioning the parentage. In fact, it's even showing King Priest or Dinas as the father, even though I know full well that that's not the case. Right. Should just be a few more months. Right, say we need to move to somewhere else for raiding, as everywhere here has been looted, and now. And immediately these guys are trying to stop us, but they're just getting stomped yet again. Unfortunately, our troops need to go reinforce. We've almost got enough money anyway, even without another successful raid. Because you only need like 10 more gold. Unfortunately, we've not picked up any new prisoners. Those we might be able to ransom. But we do have 293 additional raiders. They're just ready to go. Okay, I think it's grayed out, but looting is just on by default because otherwise these would be completely useless. Because they're specifically there for you to raid with them, but you can't click the button. But surprisingly, the heresy has reared its ugly head in the county of Whirl. I mean, we're not even Christians, so that's the only heresy we really have to worry about is old Remover. Oops, click the wrong button. We need to send troops home. Although, we have the money now. So let's just expand these troops. Then create the Kingdom of Pomerania. And now, create the Windish Empire for 800, you gain 800 prestige, spend 300 gold and 400 piety, and boom! We're now an empress, as we now have the Windish Empire. But for some reason still says Lithuania. There we go. Now it properly says Windish Empire. We've got room for an advisor on the council. So there's no specific skill associated with being an advisor, so just a good spot to stick somebody that wants to be on the council, or that will be helpful for getting things passed. Like a guy with 100 opinion of you who is a loyalist, and will therefore he will support their liege in all elections except those that will directly decrease their own power. So now with about 345 years left before we enter into New European Universalis 4, we have officially formed an empire. Let's see. Although we are very low on money right now. Now on account of our lack of, on account of the fact that we kind of spent pretty much all of it on becoming an empire. Hey, I mean, our demand size went up by 1. So again, I don't even care what happens with the kingdom title anymore because I've got the empire title. Neomir has avoided me for some time, and the rare occasions when we meet have turned from the love-filled evenings that I remember to hours of arguing and disagreement. It did not come as a shock when Neomir told me he wanted to end our relationship, but it hurt more than I thought it would. Because our lover has left us soon after we formed the glorious Windish Empire. Polician and heresy has appeared in the kind of Volkovets. Like again, that sounds like a Christian problem to me. And we're Remuva. So in fact, think maybe I should work on maybe, you know, getting the empire to be a bit less fractured religiously. speaking of... Ooh, we got a bump to our leafies as well. As we've got a max total of 3,000 now. I think I might, now that we've got the Empire, we might focus on building up like fort in the capital, also that we might need to be able to reform to feudalism. Because then we can just get rid of this whole eldership thing. And then I can just, you know, have my eldest child inherit, for instance, every time. Then you find it odd that the Empress works in the fields, but tending to the land and crops make you feel, you know, closer urges them in that. More so than any prayer. As you take a short break, you notice Lord Mayor Ingolda is approaching. You agree and exchange some words about the harvest. It turns out that he is also follower of Zemina. Right? Infidels are shut down once again. An old, weather-bitten diplomat who has served in most of the courts in Europe, the ones that mattered at least, agreed to take you under his wing for a few days. He has taught you many valuable tricks in how to deal with vassals and other rulers. And I've gained 1 diplomacy because I'm still seeking to improve my diplomacy. I just haven't gotten that many events for it. Which, I mean, if I could just get rid of one of my bad traits, like wrath, paranoid, or greedy, that would get me up to 8 right there. And we're 21 or 21 years away from another Great Holy War being able to be declared. I think since most of those of our neighbors are smaller and also like honestly, worst thing that will happen if we become if we become feudal is maybe the other realms are closer to our level. Well, as far as sheer number of troops they can and call to war. Because I mean, we're sitting here with 3,000 troops of our own, and then if all of our vassal ally troops join in, that's another 23,000. Like I mean, feudalism is also more stable, well, in a lot of ways. So maybe let's raise the personal levies, go on some raids, and then try and get the money to upgrade it, need Vilnius' fort a few times. Because it should be all we need. The feudalism. Oh, we also need absolute tribal organization. We need a stone hill fort and absolute tribal organization. Let's send high tribal organization for council consideration. Everybody's on board from the looks of it, so let's go for it. Which means we've got 2 pretty much guaranteed votes. So it comes down to what do the pragmatists and glory hounds want. Right, we have high. We have high tribal organization, and so we just have to wait 5 years before we can try and get absolute. Well, we can send our troops over. We're into Polotsk again, and to try and loot a bit. And so we can get money to build up our hill fort more. We're back in Vilnius. I think they've gotten better. Yeah, they've gotten way better. This is not great. This is not great at all. They got way better at fighting suddenly. Let's not go over there. Let's maybe go for Dretsk instead. And once our troops are ready to raid again. Is that? Well, I mean, down to 297, so we could probably actually just raid again and this time beat them. If we act fast. It gained 1 more diplomacy, so let's go for building a war chest. Let's try and get, because I believe that gives you events that get you more money. Which, in order to have a war chest as an empire, you need 1,000 gold in your coffers. Right, we've almost got enough money for reinforced hill fort. So let's actually upgrade to stone hill fort. So we've got the stone hill fort ready to go. So actually, I don't believe we need because, like, unless there's a higher version of stone hill fort that we need, I don't believe we need to go no any higher than that. So, not other than just being low on money, which we're gaining 7. We're getting almost 7 in per in a month, so the scout would just declare war. Okay, this guy's a see truce. See vassals. Scalva. Yes, they did declare war on Pannonia. So hey, they're likely about to expand the empire a bit more. Wow! Oh, those are a lot of raiders. Fortunately, that's a raid and not a war. Where even is Calivan? It's not even showing me. Oh, that's Calivan. Oh, they've got event spawn troops. That's why they have such a ridiculous number. Or they've probably got just like raiders spawned in, and from the from their marshal. Right, so still going to be another 3 years before we can change the law of tribal organization again. And so it's just max speed through through to August of 1105, because should just about have everything we need to become feudal. I think Vilnius hasn't finished it. Okay, the Stonehill Fort will be done in plenty of time. Right, we have a Stonehill Fort. So now just waiting 3 years for another opportunity to change the laws of our realm. And CK2 just nearly crashed. Fortunately recovered, and also there'd be an autosave anyway. I mean, makes sense that they're not really that concerned about raising tribal organization because the biggest impact it seems to have, one of the biggest impacts it seems to have negatively on their vassals is unreformed pagan tribal vassal opinion. And while all of my vassals are pagan, and then pagan tribal vassals, those pretty much, they're going to also be reformed pagan. Because I don't believe I have any vassals that still will follow old Remuva or any other or unreformed faith. Somi has apparently become Catholic. Shall we wait? Let's see if there's anything interesting going on. Like, for instance over here, where Ireland is not looking great, and what's the difference between Scotland with a C and Scotland with a K? Got there definitely was no Reconquista, that's for sure. Like, Iberia is pretty much all Muslim. There's a little bit of Aquitaine in there. We've got massive Georgia over here. And massive Simonage. Which just gotta wait. Things to just gotta wait a couple more years, and then we can look. Another vassal's declared a war on his own. Just a couple more years. And then we can hopefully get max tribal organization and become feudal. That will help greatly with other things like getting consistent numbers of troops in wars, because it'll be a matter of, as long as they don't refuse to send troops, our vassals won't just randomly be like, nah, I'm not joining in on this. But more than that, we'll be able to get rid of the eldership succession and get something more stable like primogeniture. Just as soon as, you know, we get through this next just under 2 years, and hopefully pass as an absolute tribal organization. Ooh, Palatus is being attacked by one of our vassals. I crave solitude. I no longer seek the company of others, but I won't become a hermit. A wandering warrior has requested an audience. It appears as if the entire court is abuzz with stories of his exploits. This Romantas, the Defender, is seemingly of great renown. He wishes to swear fealty to me, having heard of my relation to the legendary Jugala Pelamanetus. I truly am blessed by my blood. Sure, he can be a new commander. Just gotta wait for the rest of 1104, and then in a few months into 1105 we'll be able to change another law. See, the buildings Tanis Makova was looking for should be torn down and replaced with sturdier houses and watchtowers, but Tanis Makova was insistent that something could be done about them. I told her my honest opinion about the buildings. See, materials from the old houses could be used to make better buildings. Let's see. Yeah, this particular High Chief of Pomerelia hasn't been a problem for me, so nah. Like, there's a guy before him that was being a major asshole. Right. Almost into the final year of waiting for the countdown to expire before we can okay. Ooh. Looks like Ionia just lost a good chunk of the land. To one of our vassals. They're down to one county. Right. The new court chaplain. Who better than the first ideal out of the faith? If you know. There's a Skalvan revolt going on because there's a Vladislav Skalvan revolt released a revocation of County of Stetsika requested by High Chief Zygmunt Antas as a sharp tongue. Okay, so it's just for a pleasant evening with a very special friend of mine. I found my purse empty. Luckily, I didn't carry that much gold with me. I will not visit that brothel again. It's 11:05. Just gotta wait a few more months. And then we'll be ready to send absolute tribal organization to the council for review. which apparently the council now votes on imprisonment, banishment, and execution. So, not entirely sure what they gain with absolute tribal organization, but I imagine it's just like one thing. I do kind of wonder if these are affected at all once you reform. Because I mean, the tribal organization law does go away once you're no longer tribal. Do you think it might focus on like maybe improving the status of women in the empire as far as those laws go? Right. Has base stewardship of 2 and base martial of 1, so let's go with stewardship out of the 2. No education types he's got a good trait for. I mean, he could go for learning. Yeah, let's have him go for learning instead, since he's got a better base than either of the options where he's just got a good trait. Right, let's send it to the council for consideration. Everybody's on board. So let's start the vote. Spymaster just keeled over. Put my son in place of the Spymaster, and both the former and current Spymaster were voting for it, so now we've got everything in place. So now we're feudal. So let's see. Got an achievement called Not a Tribe. It ticked up our monthly income a little. So burn this out of state. Ooh. Personal demand size suffered a bit, but at the same time, we do still have 3,000. We still have about 4,000 vassal troops that we can raise. Although, not sure if we still have the option to bring in troops from our vassal allies. Loyal vassal, get a villas, Valmet, Antitus. I send you a courier with an offer. He is willing to make a significant donation to your war chest. In return, you must promise to return the favor in the future. Nah, I think I'm good. Pomerania is not looking great. As far as the whole trying to conquer Polotsk right now. And also, the immense size went way down. Our max immense size went down. So let's see. A lot of that is because by becoming feudal, we gained a whole bunch of like cities. So let's just create some new vassals. You know, just to do some post-reform administration. And to keep our number of unnecessary, keep our number of direct holdings in our domains down. I mean, there's still titles I can form. Alright, so I am no longer holding on to any. Well, let's just make some high chiefdoms. Let's see. That did not help my domain size at all. Right, so let's see. Did that help? No. And I still can't create new vassal. Well, in any of the provinces within Livonia. Right, so let's just go through the court. Maybe starting with oh wait. Oh, it looks like we no longer have to deal with the council voting on council authority is limited. Okay, the ruler has full authority over. I don't know why it doesn't seem to be showing up with the. It's like, let's see. So I wanted to give somebody. You know what? Let's see. Okay, that's the only claimant for this territory, and he's not in my court. Like, I imagine if I'm granting it to a claimant, then they'll be a bit more on board. It can be a bit more confident that the council will be on board. Fortunately, I'm not finding very many claimants that will actually join my court to come claim their territory, to come claim the territory that they're claiming of. Without while still having it be under my control. What? Send this lady a gift? See if that changes her mind. Still no. Yeah, let's see if this child will come join. Nope. It's not giving me any particular reasons. So I can't even like trying to find a direct solution, and there are a lot of factions. And suddenly, including a couple for elective succession. Pick one for Windish Empire, one for Lithuania, one for Pomerania. There's also people wanting Havelkind in Pomerania and Lithuania. One who wants Korbuta has to get Lithuania after I die or something, or even just right now. And one seeking independence. The only one that's a real danger is the Corbutus one. So you know what, maybe let's... Because I mean, she's both a leader of a faction and a member of this faction, so let's... Let's just see if we can't get this old lady out of the picture. Right. Almost. It was 100% already. So let's just... We need a new chancellor. This guy, his skills are pretty poor, but he's also a powerful vassal, so I'll let him have the title just to please him. Just gonna build a spy master, spy network over here. But my plot was revealed. Oh hey, I can ask for help managing my titles again. Okay, we've got 127.7% chance and plot power, so we should be good on that. Extort subjects. Extorting your subjects is a great way to quickly raising funds for your war chest. Beware though, for this action will be seen as tyrannical by your subjects. The mental health of rulers, those who care for those subjects may take damage from this action. Yeah, I'm not about to do that. I've already got enough vassals that don't like me. Mostly because my demence is too big. Gee, I'm trying to get it down. Well, maybe I can grant some landed titles to people. Well, you know, see, get this guy. What? Create this, and then grant hand the landed title of see what what's the duchy that I just created? Lost its see create it, then grant the landed title to this guy. Except I can't. Oh, actually, I can. Here you go. Have that. Now I've got one fewer title in my demence. Let's see, the county. This county is part of Livonia. Let's give this guy the High Chieftain of Livonia real quick. And that changed absolutely nothing. Because I still have a county within it. Right. We've almost got this sorted out. So let's see. High Chieftain of Greater Poland. I own Naklo. So let's grant landed title County of Naklo. There we go. I'm now under the maximum demence size, so people can stop getting a negative 30 for me holding too many demences, for me holding too much of my demence. However, people still hate me for too many held duchies, so I think it might be only one, so this guy can also be the High Chief of Greater Poland. And so now, people shouldn't have a problem with me for number of held duchies. Nope, no more problems from the number of things I'm holding. Oh, and because I've got such a good, since so many of my subjects have such a good opinion of me, I'm now getting 20 gold a month. And I can raise almost 6,000 from vassals. All in terms of troops. And some of the, I think some of the factions have gone down. Still have some people with a negative opinion of me, and I have not reigned long enough to change succession law. So I believe I have to change the succession law for each one. None of my titles as well, if I want to keep them all under the same succession. But I mean, as long as I have the Empire title and the kingdoms continue to be vassals under the Empire, then everything's fine. Controlled Realm Inheritance. Passing the Controlled Realm Inheritance law will protect titles within the realm from being inherited by characters loyal to another liege. Interesting. Very interesting. That seems like a very good law to have. Of just, you know, you can't other kingdoms and empires and whatnot can't just inherit titles from under me. Apparently there's a crusade for Aquitaine. My co-conspirator, Priestess Audra, has assembled a party of mercenaries who will ambush Chiefess Salome disguised as highwaymen. I am assured she will not survive the encounter. Right, let's see how that turns out. More of my tribal vassals are adopting feudalism. Success. The mercenaries ambushed the carriage of Chiefess Salome and made short work of her. We let the driver go and he is convinced the attack was carried out by highwaymen. Oh, those nasty bandits! And we no longer have any dangerous factions because she's no longer supporting the most dangerous of all of them. Currently the most dangerous faction is Gavelkind Succession and the Windish Empire. Which is led by, like, he's got 100 an opinion of me, so why? It's like, why is he forming factions against me? Unfortunately, I can't just tell him to stop. It looks like. There you go, unlike with just regular plots. Yeah, this right here seems like a pretty good law to have. Oh, my husband was murdered on the orders of Chiefess Makova of Zepsk. Can you not, sister? Can you not murder your brother-in-law? Maybe I should give you a taste of your own medicine, only more directly. Although, I mean, actually, you know what? For the sake of poetic justice, I'm just gonna go after her husband. Now I need to marry someone good in stewardship because so that I can get a higher, so I can get a good bonus. I'm marrying this lowborn shaman just to get that good stewardship so that I can fit another county in my demesne. Wait. Wait, no, that's not what I need to do. It's like an education focus for this kid. So let's see. He's got good intrigue, well, 5 intrigue, 5 learning. He's got a bad trait for learning, so, and good diplomacy. So let's go for diplomacy because he's got 5 basic and a good trait for learning it. And so might as well, while I wait to need to have reached I mean, you've got a long reign, so I guess maybe because I haven't been reigning as the Empress of the Windish Empire for 10 years. That's why it's like, oh, you have to have reigned for 10 years. Years before you can change this law. Hey, at least I'm getting plenty of money. You know, 20 plus gold each month. And all things considered, my realm is fairly stable. We've got righteous imprisonment, but the council doesn't want to imprison this guy. This guy who's angry for not being on the council. So let's see. He got one. I've got these two on board. They're not winning to weaken powerful vassals. And these have just been swayed by the diplomacy of other voters. So I think if I can, I'm gonna try and get away from having a lot of glory hounds, because they don't, other than getting good votes for declaring wars, they don't really seem to support me a whole lot when it really matters. Revolt war on Pomerania. So there's a Pomeranian revolt going on now. Unfortunately, it's Pomeranians fighting Pomeranians. It's not... Right. So all of my vassals like me now. You know, I think I'll abandon this plot just to make sure that doesn't cause any trouble. And if I'm correct in assuming, because some of my vassals are... What vassals have a negative opinion of me now? Oh, all of these down here. Right, send gift, send gift. Send gift. Try and sway. And then send gift. Send gift. Send gift. These four are gonna be trouble. Which all of their problems are because of government type. Which, I mean, if they just embrace these feudalism, then they can stop having a problem. And this guy's big problem is that he's on the council. So let's see if there's anywhere I can fit him onto the council. It's best as intrigue. So let's see. Ooh. Him in that spot would mean firing my... It would mean firing a member of my a dynasty from a position, and it would mean losing out on 9 of the appropriate stat. What I could do is put him in the advisor position. So let's fire counselor, advisor, this guy. There, now he has a positive opinion of me. I don't believe the other guy is going to be that mad because I'm pretty sure he still had 100 opinion of me in the first place. So and the monument is complete, so now I've got all of my troops ready to fight if needed. Let's see. I'll claim it for what title? We claim on the chieftain of Lithuania. You know what? At this point, if I could get the council on board, I would be able to let you have it. Which it looks like it's pretty much only my cousin that's in the way of me granting that, so oh, you know what, cousin? You can and leave the council just as soon as I find a button to do that. I can just appoint. Here, you can be the new spy master. Granted. Now, maybe I can actually get now maybe I can grant this guy the High Chieftain of Lithuania. Yep, because now the entire council is on board. In fact, partly because he is on the council now. Others. Good thing I'm not planning on granting the Kingdom of Lithuania to anyone anytime soon. Right. Let's get that guy on board. So now, there's only one vassal left that has a negative opinion of me. And that's Miromir Piast. probably because I'm pretty sure I, like, murdered his mom. Or some relative of his. Because he's the holder of the same title. No, that was held by that old lady that was supporting multiple factions. That was against me. Let's see. New Chancellor, which is the diplomacy-based position. He's got just barely second place as far as most diplomatic candidate for the position, so there we go. He's on the council. All of my vassals are satisfied. So I'm pretty sure yeah, because some of my vassals are fighting each other. We still have to wait on that. So, see, what's our legalism looking like? Oh, it's level 1. So you need to upgrade it a bit more in order to be able to get rid of free realm inheritance. Like once this rebellion is done and then well, sometime after 1115 we'll be able to change our succession law for the Empire. I'm pretty sure the two kingdoms will still use eldership until I can change that. And there are a lot more things I would need to change. Change it at the kingdom level. They'll be able to actually change their succession laws, so... But again, as long as they remain vassals of the Empire, then all I need to worry about is the biggest thing I need to worry about as far as holding on to them is holding on to the Imperial throne. So, priority number 1 is getting a stable line of succession for the Empire itself. Which, if my vassals can stop fighting each other, then I should be able to form now it's only starting to have more problems. Because before it didn't. Oh, I think I was looking at something else before. So I need to have reigned for at least 10 years. there's a any held title is a viceroyalty, or one of these must be true late feudal administration or imperial administration. Okay. So I need to get my legalism up. The river priests are constantly pestering me about religion. Lay my money to the church. No matter what I do, I promise it. No matter what I do, I promise to pray more, read the Holy Scripture more thoroughly. They won't leave me alone. I'm gonna just go for the option that gets me a little bit of extra piety. Right, so let's see. Cultural advance. Oh, we've got legalism too now. So we just need to, like, so looks like we should be able to get legalism 3 fairly soon. So you need about 206 and a half. Yeah, 206 and a half points moves towards it. So we just need to get we're getting about half a point in a month. It's actually not super soon because it's going to be because we need 94, so it'll be 188 months at the current rate. Well, I believe my spy master can go off to somewhere to study technology. Maybe Constantinople. That's a good place to just send your spy master and study technology. Right. Now the question is that actually helping at all? I'll just send Spy Master over to Byzantium to study technology. I managed to say their advancements in the documents include. Oh, it's just like lump sum, so you get it every once in a while. Oh, and got 50 points towards a culture of her advance, so now we might be able to get it now. Let's see, it'll be at most like 80 months now. Still quite a while, but substantially faster than before. They can always keep a lookout for events that will buff that as well. As well as anything that buffs my diplomacy. I think another person in the Empire has adopted feudalism. I'm getting 21 gold a month, but I have far fewer uses for the gold now. No, because I'm not saving up to form an empire. My son has become a mastermind theologian. He's also become bald. My eyes twitch from a bite of half-chewed roast to the line of waiters silently standing by the table. My suspects are immediately confirmed by a younger servant girl looking away from me as guards drag the traitorous woman away from my sight. I throw the dish to the other servants. Everybody is trying to poison me. How am I supposed to eat anything at all? It's paranoia. Let's see. I'll accept the potential to become malnourished. I have, in fact, become malnourished. You know, I'll go on a diet to get back in shape. So I'm no longer malnourished, I'm just on a hard diet until for like 7 years. My heir is unmarried, but I want to get the whole administration situation wrapped up first. That was because I want to be sure that's actually going to be my vassal before I get too involved in then who he's going to be married off to. There you go. No, I don't want to prepare someone to be the future queen. Well, the future empress. Is it just for the elders to decide that he's no longer that my heir is no longer my heir? Right. So just need to get my legalism up enough to form to get my legalism up enough to be able to switch to primogeniture. I've reigned for 10 years, so I just need to have no vassals fighting each other, no count or higher tier vassal of this title having a negative opinion of me, and either late feudal or imperial administration. Right. This guy's angry that he's not on the council. So before I send him any gifts, I'm gonna see if there's anywhere I can fit him onto the council. There are a few spots where I could probably replace someone with him. Let's see what his stats are like. Not great. best as intrigue, but it's half the intrigue my existing spy master has. Alright, maybe he have my advisor switch to a different position on the council. Let's see. He's not better than any of my current advisors. So it looks like I'm just gonna have to fire this guy to get the High Chief of Skalva onto the council. Which, I mean, it's going to be far easier to get him to just be okay again. Which, I mean, yeah. I mean, the penalties for firing him, were minimal anyway. You know what? Maybe. Like, they're like -20, but they've also got expiration date. It's fairly soon, so probably they won't be a problem for super long. You know, they're not like with the penalty for not being on the for being a powerful vassal that's not on the council. However, let's see. You change council position. So let's swap those guys because this guy has a 0 diplomacy, so he should not be a chancellor. I'll take a 7 before I take a 0 at least. So it's not great, but it works. Like, it works better than the previous situation. Because it's gotten all the powerful vassals into new positions that they want. And so this guy is the one with the worst opinion of me, of the entire realm, and 20 of that is going to be going away soon. Like, come on, cultural tech. Nope, it was not cultural tech. I'm not entirely sure which one it was, but it's not cultural. Let's see. Yeah, I can stand to lose it. There's some of this guy's opinion of me. Pretty soon I'll have the war chest done. Like, I just need about 200 more, so I could have... Oh boy. The Orthodox are revolting yet again. Fortunately, I've got 9,000 troops in about 9,000 troops in Levy, so it shouldn't be too hard to crush them without the fact that I can no longer call my tribal vassals to fight directly. Well, I mean, it seems like I've got less and less tribal vassals anyways. Many of them have, well, part of why I'm making so much money is because a lot of my tribal vassals have become feudal. You know, following in the footsteps of their empress. Right, that should be plenty enough troops to use to crush them. They've run off into Turov, which is not even part of our territory. And there we go. Enforce demands. Boom. Problem solved. I just gotta get everybody back across the border and then disband. And get a minute. This needs an education focus. It's got good base intrigue. Maybe from the looks of it. Like that's his highest base. He's got a portrait. He's affectionate, so he's got a portrait for it. So second is so second highest is a tie between diplomacy and martial. Diplomacy has both a good and bad trait. I'm gonna go with martial for him. There are many legends about the great hitman whose blood I share. A particular story has been circulating at court lately. Focuses on an epic feat where Dracula proves his strength of character. The more I hear, the more I wish to emulate him. By becoming arbitrary. Nah. I kind of need my... I kind of need my stewardship as it is. It's just this one guy that still has problems. Kidnappers overpowered me and made sure I could not call for help by stuffing a filthy rag onto my mouth. Luckily they did not get far away with me. Chief Venus and the guardsman should free me and capture them. I was apparently being kidnapped. When Venus has finished his education in diplomacy, it is evident that he has excelled in his studies by becoming a charismatic negotiator. Okay, so it's mostly like if he could just become feudal, then his whole problem would be solved. But, would losing the trait greedy be useful to me? No. Well, maybe a little. Because it could be useful to get some more diplomacy, but I'm just gonna go for that. He gained plus 15. It's really... Oh. And now I've got another guy wanting to be on the council because King Venus of Estonia is a powerful vassal. Let's see, he's got 16 martial. I believe pretty much. Oh, I actually have a few positions he could fill. Because, I mean, if he... See... He's got 16 martial, 11 intrigue, 13 diplomacy. The chancellor position is already filled by a powerful vassal, so... I'm gonna say maybe point him to the martial position as much as this guy's got great martial. I also need to keep my vassals from being upset with me. And in fact, I no longer have any vassals upset with me. So no, I just need to get my legalism up. But unfortunately, it's still going to be another like 50 months at the my current rate of just natural point gain. Which the Empress is getting up there near. She's 50. See, wage peace here with you. Reports that King Venus is sending and Daniel to tell him this is Mary. Sure. At least my son has better diplomacy than I do, so he should be able to at least gain points towards getting that last level of legalism at a faster rate. I mean, see. I mean, even if all it would take is the spy master to just successfully he get me some more, another just like lump sum of 50 points, and that'll get me up to it right there. Almost got the war chest done, and there we go. War chest is complete. So okay, and it's got some new options: improve diplomacy, improve intrigue, build a great work, improve learning, forge bloodline. So see, to complete this ambition, you need to perform one of the following tasks, or end a bloodline through other means. Murder or execute 30 people. Win 15 foreign wars. Rule at peace for 30 years. Build 10 cities, build 10 castles, or build 10 temples. I think those last three will probably be the easiest, because we've got plenty of money to do it. So I'm gonna look up real quick what exactly those all do. Right. Because like each one's gonna have a different effect. And so I wouldn't want to go for one that's gonna kind of suck. Well, I mean, we already have one bloodline. This is just going to give us another, I'm pretty sure. Because I think it's possible to have multiple bloodlines. Yeah. Doesn't say it can't. So let's see. Forged bloodlines. Rare bloodlines. -4 vassal opinion. Boost of plot power and chance for children of this bloodline to get event to murder their guardians for +1 intrigue, and opens up and deserves a murderous AI. Like, I have my doubts that I'm going to murder this 50-year-old woman's gonna murder or execute 30 people anytime soon, so let's look elsewhere. The conquest bloodlines means grant bonuses to like personal combat skill. I don't think that will work super well, because like I feel like that might take too long at this point. Beast bloodlines. National revolt risk, but I'm not sure if Empress Kenna has 30 more years in her at this point, because I'm pretty sure characters usually keel over sometime in their 70s, so I have no guarantee she'll live to see 80. Right, so apparently I get access to special building, a special city, castle, or temple buildings, depending on which type I build. They'll 10 of, so let's go with that. You can either get +5% burger or vassal tax by building 10 cities, and I'll get +6 vassal opinion. I can build 10 castles and get +5% noble vassal tax and special castle buildings. Might go for, I'm gonna look at what these special fortifications are that they'll be able to build. And then I might build 10 castles, because let's see. Mostly improve like fort level. So they like special bonuses for your forts. Or fort type stuff, so there are also hybrid bloodlines apparently. Like the Builder bloodline, which gets +2 to national tax modifier. Build 24 holdings without building 10 of any single type. That's doable. Could also rule at peace for 15 years and build five temples, cities. These are castles. If I can get something that lowers revolt risk, that would be pretty good. But it doesn't look like that's going to be much of an option. And apparently I can also get the bloodlines for an event chain. I mean, should you fail to meet the requirements for any of the other bloodlines for some time, an event chain will trigger, which will allow you to forge a bloodline without meeting any of the ambition requirements. The type of bloodline is dependent upon your decisions on the event chain. So you can get potentially Philosopher, minus 15% build time, plus 15% spread of cultural tech, research boost, plus 15% tech spread, cultural tech research boost. Family bloodline can harass your relatives and defend your image of a proper dynasty. Benevolence bloodline, just monthly prestige and monthly piety. Ruthlessness bloodline, imprison, plus the imprisonment chance, plus the revolt risk. Can plot to revoke any title that was not recently granted. Zeal grants monthly piety, minus 3% cultural tech spread. Maybe theology bloodline could be good because it's plus 5% cultural tech spread and chance for your court chaplain to find a philosopher while researching cultural texts. Wait, my philosopher research cultural texts? He can. So let's send him to Vilnius and see if he can help me get Legalism 3 a bit faster. See, Great Philosopher, Heretical Find, both of the same possibility, both of the same likelihood. But also Culture Technology Spread Rate, plus 105%. Also Chi King, he can help. She's my diviner in the first ideal to of the faith. I mean, admittedly, it would make some sense for the descendant of a revered ancestor to forge her own bloodline by building a bunch of temples. Which unlocks their own set of special buildings for temples called monumental shrines, which increase income by 1 and liege piety. You know, I might go for the especially ambitious one of the Builder bloodline, which increases national tax modifier by 2%, decreases build time and build cost by 20%, and just requires it to build 24 holdings without building 10 of a single type. So I could easily do that by just building 8 holdings of each type. Okay, so let's see. It's just... Ooh, but it is rather expensive to build a new holding. Which I could just go for, like, the hybrid peace bloodline. Because I feel fairly confident in the Empress's ability to last the next 15 years. So let's see. I just pick the type of holding, build 5 of them, and rule at peace for 15 years. Of course, that kind of won't work if wars between my vassals count as not ruling at peace. But I imagine, as long as the liege isn't fighting a war, or as long as you're not personally fighting a war, I imagine that counts as ruling at peace. So, well, I mean, any uprising will, like Orthodox uprising will throw a big old monkey wrench into that whole plan. So, well, let's see. Well, if I can win 15 foreign wars, I can become the conqueror. Or if I can get my learning up by 2. No, I can become the warrior philosopher. So let's see. Unfortunately, there is no hybrid for war and well, honestly, I think I might just sit back and wait for that event chain to start, or so I can just get the theology bloodline. Oh, I had enough of a discount to from existing spread to get Legalism 3. So now I've got that. Now I just need to so let's send this for council consideration. Why are you all being assholes? Who knows? Like there's no reason given whatsoever as to why literally the entire council has a problem with this. Like what is even the problem? Is my entire council just shit? Possibly. Worked so hard to get that working, but now the entire council is like, nah, we're not doing it. I mean, I can get at least this guy to vote for it. So maybe I can just buy favors from enough of my vassals, or from enough of my counselors. Rather than just to get the vote done that way. Except no matter what, they're just going to continue to be assholes, and I can't buy favors from any of them. I bet. Oh, I actually can. I actually can buy favor from at least one of them. In fact, 2 of them. I have bought favors from the entire council. I am literally just bribing the entire council to get this vote passed. So let's see. Is it calling council support? Or surely that's what I need. I'm gonna look that up to make sure that I don't make a mistake. Let's see, favors. Because I spent quite a bit on buying favors from people. Let's see, favors can be used for the following. Make a council member vote like you on the council. They're on the same. Okay. It says they're on the same council and not your liege. They're not already influenced by a favor, e.g. need from another character. Okay, last 3 years. So council consideration. Call in council support. Call in council support. Call in council support. And call in council support. So now 4 out of the 7 of them are all going to. Okay, finally. Ooh. Oh, I think that's just. Right, so now I just need to get my vassals to settle down. And then I can change the succession and of the empire to primogeniture. Although, I mean, it's basically primogeniture right now anyway, because there's only one candidate anyone is voting for. And that's my son Tanis of the Windish Empire. I mean, actually I'm pretty sure that's closer to ultimogeniture. No, because I've got a son that's younger than him. Like, I've got 2 sons, a son's younger than him. So yeah, it is basically primogeniture. They're already. Now it's just a matter of waiting for all these rowdy vassals to settle down. Which, I mean, I can enforce realm peace, and that should handle pretty much everything, at least as far as internal wars go. So Right, this guy's he can be my new advisor because he's a powerful vassal winning a position. Just gonna get the one vassal from the Scalvian Revolt. That's most of why these vassals are being so rowdy, is because there are revolts going on within my vassals. Right. None of my vassals have a negative opinion of me. So once everything settles down, thanks to enforced realm peace in 41 days, we should be able to start to... Right, realm peace is enforced. Everything should be calm now. Alright, we've got the button available. There we go. Finally. Magnetic cognatic primogeniture. After all this time trying to get everything together. Your vassal, High Chief Vingoldus of Scalva, is arguing with his wife. She seems quite upset, and they are almost screaming at each other. They don't even notice you're watching them. It's none of my business. And now everything is as I wanted it. You know, I've got the Empire, I've got the primogeniture succession, I've got the feudal, got the you know, the feudal administration. Chief Neomir answered to my letter, meaning that he has much learned from me and has really appreciated me taking some time off my duties as Empress in order to teach him something about statesmanship. And there's an Orthodox uprising because, of course, it's been a few years. We've got to have at least one every once in a while. Oh, looks like one of my vassals might have it handled before my troops even get organized enough to... Yeah, they just got their ass handed to them by one of my vassals, rather than having any real chance to cause a problem. Oh, and the Kingdom of Estonia has adopted feudalism. Well then, guess I didn't need to get all these Levy. He's ready to go. And this guy has How am I a tyrant? Like, when did I do something tyrannical? Oh, I think that guy might be a tyrant. Maybe? No. What's his opinion of me? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's like, how did... Like, what did I do that was tyrannical? Because, like... Was it bribing the council all to vote in my favor? Was that the problem? Right. Well, it's 11:59, so, well, it's 1:59. So I'm gonna call the stream here. Got 330 more in-game years before we advance to NCU4. We've got an empire now, and we've got feudal, and we've got primogeniture or succession, so we don't have to worry about the elders anymore, except I'm pretty sure maybe the succession for the titles below. Yeah. Pomerania and Lithuania are still all under eldership succession, but if somebody else ends up inheriting those titles other than my heir, they'll just be a vassal under the imperial throne anyway, so that's gonna do it for me tonight. It's 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna find somebody else who's live with CK2 who and send them a raid. Oh, well, there's only... I don't know if anyone in here knows Russian, so I think I'll actually let AutoHost handle this one. Actually, yeah, no, there's... None of my followers are live either, so... But the one other person live with CK2 is streaming in Russian, so like I don't know how much entertainment anybody here is gonna get out of that, because the only language I can be fairly certain anyone viewing this speaks is English, since that's the language I'm speaking right now. So next stream in general will be Tuesday with viewer's choice, and next CK2 stream will be next Saturday, since I wrapped up Age of Wonders. Hers last stream. I've moved CK3 to Thursdays, so now each campaign will go twice as effectively, because rather than alternating, I'm going to be streaming both each week. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all next time.